Alright, back at it. This is the next day. I'm wanting to get rafters up today, so we'll see how it goes. Because it's supposed to snow tomorrow starting at 8 in the morning. So we'll give it a go. Alright, well, it's stopping time for tonight, and I didn't quite reach my goal. That's life, right? That's how the whole project's been. But it's pretty close. I've got these two cut out, and then I'm going to have to do a little makeshift, create the last couple. So I'll need, after those two, I'll need one on each side right here. That way I can have a support every distance, the same distance as the sides of the metal sheets. I just want to have a solid support underneath them, even though I know I'm gonna probably be doing those later on a higher level above other insulation, but right at first probably not. So we'll see. Either way, I wanted to guarantee that I had a base that was going to work to really solidly support the metal roof that I want to put on. And so I'll take you upstairs now and we'll go see what these rafters are looking like. Alright, as we come up the ladder, this is what we're seeing. So the ceiling is going to sit just on top of that, and it really made those 45-degree angles a little bit obsolete, but made it so that they attached real easy. And honestly, it was easier to chisel those out because of it along the grain, since I'm working without a circular saw right now, which is a bummer. It's not fun. It would have been a lot faster with one, but it's okay. You can do all this with hand tools like they have for what, a century. So these don't all line up. Well, they all line up, but they don't all sink in the same depth. And if there's something heavy on the roof, which I doubt there's going to be anything heavy enough, could push that in there. And let's see, this one doesn't even have that cut out because it just sits right on top. And that one has it cut out. And the ones on the ends, walk over here, don't reach it. So if I were to extend that out, it would be cut out a little bit right there. But if I extend that, attaching something here and or here, it would extend out, and I would just place it below it, so I wouldn't have to worry about cutting anything there. That's the same on both ends, front and back. And I'll show you from the other side where it's not shining so bright, but I've got them marked. So this right there is where the other outside rafter will go, and this side is not complete, but it looks complete because of this right here. But I'm gonna get one right there, and then what I'll have to do is I'll start on the south side laying the panels, and then that'll be the last full sheet, and that'll be exactly half sheet. So 36 inches, that's 18 inches past the 36, and what I've done is overlap the width of the last lip right on top of each other, and that's where these should be. So let's go to the other side. shine backwards here with the camera so you can see. Here you can really see the gap. That's the difference between the length of the purlins and the ridge beam there, and it's just lacking the length there on the outside, but that's not really gonna worry me. I mean, those 2x6s should be plenty strong, besides the fact that you can see right there my mark of how far outside the exterior wall that last rafter is going to be, and that will be supported on these purlins. So that's not going to support tons of weight out there, missing those center purlins, those common purlins. Let's come over to the other side. Here you can see I got a hang of it a bit more. Let's cut to the depth. It's just right. It's just right up there. It's really well made it down there. And same thing there. This one I took a bit of work on. Angles aren't exactly where I want them, but it's solid. See if I can give that a shake for you. Here. This will be the same thing. And let's see if you can see my... So over here, I started on this end, and so there's no additional rafter on the outside because that rafter is on the other end. It's for support of the metal roof. If I have enough material, I'll go ahead and make another one on the outside here just to give that a little additional support, just because I can, but we'll see if I can. And if not, I'm not worried about it, because between there and here, that is the exact support that the metal, the width of the tin roof, and so that's, and then from here to overlapping with the first one and there and so on, that's how it'll be. And tomorrow I'm gonna have to get up early and race the snow. Hopefully it does not start snowing right at 8 o'clock. We'll see. But I'm gonna get up here as early as I can, and hopefully I'll be able to finish. I should be able to, given what I have left to do. I just, for this rafter, that one still has the screws in it. Totally forgot about that. But I gotta remove those and then cut out the spots for here and there, and that little tiny cutout there. And then I'll be able to put that one up. That one there is one that it's broken, and so it's this piece right here goes into that piece right there, and so obviously I'm gonna have to do some lateral support. That's not an issue. I've got plenty of pieces that are adequate for that. Here's a nice big piece if I need that one. There are a couple of smaller pieces if I need those, and that's simply going to be a 4x6 rafter. So it'll take a little bit more effort to make sure and cut everything out the same, but not much, to be honest. So it'll be pretty simple to get that one done as well, and then I'll have to see about those other two on the outside. I might have to laminate some boards, just like I did some of the 10-foot boards from the pallets, and create those that last set of rafters on the outside there. And if I do that and it goes well, then that's what will determine if I do anything on this side. If I do, it goes well and it's easy, then that's what I'll do. A little more support. And if it's a real pain, which I doubt, then I'll just leave that one out since it's not really necessary. It'll just give a little extra support to that southernmost rafter, which is going to be fine in reality, but I'm okay with a little extra support. And that's all there is to it for now. That's all we've got. I mean, honestly, I'm really excited I've got this far. I wish I had finished. That would have required me getting out of bed a little bit sooner. So I'm gonna try and get myself to sleep. Just couldn't quite get to sleep last night early, of course. My baby girl had a little bit to do with that, so I'm not entirely blame myself. I'm just gonna say, hey, it's life, and that's all right. The only reason why I really want to get this done as soon as possible is because tomorrow it's supposed to snow all day, and then we might have a day or two of decent working weather, and then after that, and I work on those days, so I'm not available to do anything here on those days. But after that, we're gonna have something like 8 straight days or more of snow, and I really wish I had the roof on for that, which is not likely, but if it's at all possible, I'm gonna push for it. I'm gonna do everything I can to get to that point. It's gonna take a lot of effort. It's gonna take some cannibalizing of the pallets that are can't hardly see any down there for what I have right now for the wraparound porch. And so those ones are all 10 footers, and that's what I need to create the main section of the ceiling. So we will see how that goes. I'm gonna use that. What I'm gonna do is create panels that sit on top of the rafters, and I'll do them 8 foot wide so I can hoist them up and support them here. Speaking of that, I'll have to make some more rafters. I'm gonna have to make sure I've got a rafter right at the center, and I don't think that I do because I did not measure that. That one skipped my mind, so I'm gonna have to measure from the outside to 8 feet in, which is probably about there, and make a nice wide rafter there, because that is going to support the center of the panels where they come together, the seam for the panels for the roof or the ceiling, and which will probably for the duration of this winter be the roof, unless I look out and get something more. Anyways, I think I had to wrap it up for tonight so I can head in and warm up. My toes are cold. And tomorrow we'll get the final push with the rafters. Honestly, I've never done this before, so it's an adventure, it's a challenge. It's all just pushing myself to do something new and learn and try something different, something I've never done. Hey, so here's to firsts. First time for building something, bigger than a table or a dresser or something like that. And this has all been reused, recycled materials, 100%. And so I'll go into details on all of that after I get things buttoned up. I'll have a sit down and chat about it, but that's going to be something for later, when we're dried in. Until tomorrow then, you'll see me then. Thanks for joining me, really appreciate it. So before you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and thumbs up, and share this with anyone that is thinking about it or likes it and wants to build something themselves or has done so similar to this and could have some input. One question I've got in my mind that I've been thinking over is the tar paper or roofing felt that I'm going to use. I've been looking at some, and looks like there are different thickness qualities, and I'm not worried about permits or anything like that, because again, this is all within the legal limits of not having to worry about that stuff. And so what I'm worried about is quality, and I want to make sure that my roof will not leak. So got a 12-12 pitch. It'll slough the snow pretty well once I get the tin roof on, and in the meantime I'm gonna have the roofing felt, and I don't know how long I'll have that on. Definitely by springtime I'll get a tin roof on. If I don't have it on before then, I want to make sure that I'm not leaking, just because I purchased a subpar roofing felt. So if you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I really appreciate them, and I will take your advice to heart and see what options I have accordingly. So thank you so much, and you'll see me in the morning. Alright, that is it for now. So I'm out of 2x6s, and like I said, if I had enough I would have done there, but it was more important to get this set up because that is the 8-foot mark, so that's going to hold the center of my panels. Now remember, that's important because the way I'm roofing this, because the way I'm building it is so that I can take it out and move it later to hopefully a mountain home. But either way, it's made to disassemble and relocate, and because of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 8-foot panels, one here and one here on each side, and that is going to be the center support for those panels for the ceiling. And so because I've got enough support here on those purlins, and they're distanced the width of full tin roof shingles or tin roof panels, and then that's the half panel distance to the span to the end, and it just worked out that it happened to be exactly half. And so that's the rafters. That's the way it's going to be. If somehow I come across some extras, then I might put a little extra support there, but it's really it would be overkill. That's not necessary. You've got under 24 inches that are overhang, and everything will be supported. And I'll come in and frame up to the ceiling on the end walls, so there's nothing extra to worry about there. Anyways, you can see that the snow caught up with me, and I didn't beat it done, but I got done what is really necessary. And you can see there are some patched spots where I had to use shorter pieces of the 2x6s, and I just laminated them. And here you can see right there, and then I sandwiched them between a couple of additional pieces. Here on the back side, I'll walk around and show you what this end looks like. And you can see a couple of that one there and that rafter there. They were 10 foot long, but they weren't longer. And those are spots where I could laminate a nice end so that it matches later on. And it's not something I'm gonna rush today. I have the pieces, so I can do that anytime. And anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go take you upstairs, and we'll take a peek from there. Here we are, snowing in the cabin, as you can see. So I'm gonna stop as soon as we wrap up chatting here. And you can see me, I hung on those rafters and purlins and everything to show you the strength, the rigidity that this has formed. Each rafter's set custom made to its place. Since this is a hand built structure, not a prefabbed structure being built in place, but it will be relocated eventually, and I'll just have to label everything, disassemble it, and put it back in the same way that it is now. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this covered up so that we can stop snowing in the cabin. Alright, that's it for now. Time to take a break and go warm up my hands, have a bite to eat, and let it snow. I can stretch that taut later. It's covering outside of the walls, and so that's where it needs to be. You can see that tarp hanging down on the other side. It's not all the way to the ground. It could be. I have plenty, but if it's not, then it's alright. Not worried about it. Here you can see you can walk underneath both sides. And over here it'll offer some protection, but I'm not worried about that. Now see, these boards are all the 10-foot lengths that I was talking about, all these. So I'm going to use those for the frame up of the roof, and then we'll go from there, because I'm going to make sure that as soon as I get the chance that we get a roof on it that's not this, and that is the ceiling and the roof where the tar paper will go down, and it will be roof-wise dried in. And once that is up and the tar paper is up, then I will go ahead and put the windows in, and then I'll have to build the door, and that'll be dried in. So right now I'm gonna go warm up, and then I'll go up and I'll get rid of the snow that did fall up there in the loft area while I was putting up the rafters, and that's how she is for now. Thanks for joining me, and again, please comment if you've got suggestions from personal experience on the roofing felt or tar paper, on quality with specifics of where you bought it and where it cost. If you could leave that in the comments, I really appreciate it, so that I can do some more homework than what I've done on my own, and that'll help me to make a more informed decision. And again, it might be exposed throughout the winter, hopefully not the whole winter, but I want it to be able to hold up for that if it does, without having to reapply anything. So thank you, and please hit that subscribe button, that really helps, and the thumbs up, as well as sharing it with anyone of your friends that you think might be interested or might have some advice for me that they could leave in the comments. I appreciate it, and you'll see me next time.